Wagwan people, this is your boy Rome. Welcome back to the channel. You guys are watching the fourth official, that place and the only place you can get that American, Jamaican experience and football with a heavy bias towards Manchester United. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. And today we're going to talk about a couple of things that's going to spark Jamaican Reggae Boys football. And again, it seems like this is our job at the fourth official, but we're going to point out how specifically incompetent Jamaica Football Federation is. So without any further ado, referee, blow the whistle, let's go! We're about to get into it, people. But first I have to introduce you to my new co-host. He's making his debut on the fourth official. His name is Little Z, commonly known as Officially Z. And that man is right there. Officially Z has like 1 hour of screen time this evening, and he's gonna spending it down here in the official dressing room while we make this video. Let's hope that Officially Z doesn't officially unplug my system before we get into this video. But hey, let's crack on with it, people. So first, I'd like to talk about one small aspect of Jamaican football that nobody seems to be talking about right now. You know that Jamaica has a plethora of footballers, right? And two of our most high-ranking, well-known footballers to date right now is Leon Bailey for Bayern Leverkusen and Mikel Antonio, who's now committed himself to playing for the country. He's playing for West Ham United. However, recently, within the last 2 weeks, I would say, Jamaica has had another high-profile footballer signing for a big club in England. One of the biggest clubs in England to date, and nobody's talking about it. Khadijah Bonnie Shah has signed for Manchester City, and nobody seems to want to talk about it, fam. And it seems like the JFF wants to go on and not talk about it. Khadijah Bonnie Shah has signed for Manchester City, and the JFF is just like, how can you build a brand if you don't want to build your brand? Did you know, as Jamaica football fans, that Khadijah, one of our biggest strikers who plays for our national team, just signed for Manchester City? She was playing in France, top goal scorer in France, and she just signed for Manchester City. And the JFF is not pushing this on every media platform. How does that make sense, fam? How? It don't make no sense, no time at all in this world. I mean, if you think about it, if I was in charge of the JFF, I would have a 5-minute compilation on every single channel. Sportsmax, TVJ, CNN, showing the goals that she scored last year. JFF have access to these ballers. JFF have access to these players. If you have a player from a small footballing nation like Jamaica who is signed for Manchester City, she signed for Manchester City and everything that comes with it. The fame, the name, and everything that comes with it. Being a striker for Manchester City, and you don't have this on every single channel in Jamaica, JFF. You're not giving interviews to your executives pushing this type of propaganda. Why? How do you know? How do you build a brand if you're not trying to build a brand, fam? This brand called Khadijah Bonnie Shah should be on every TV station in Jamaica and the Caribbean. Should be on every cable station in Jamaica. Talking about how proud we are of her not only getting the golden boot in France, but coming over to England and signing for Manchester City, fam. The JFF is run by nothing but incompetence, brother. Nothing but incompetence, and we keep on saying it over and over. But maybe we should let Officially Z telling them, because it makes sense. Y'all just moving on. There's another topic that people don't really talk about since it happened in the last couple of weeks as well. Paul Hall has been hired as the assistant manager for the Reggae Boys. And I don't see anyone talking about what Paul Hall brings to the Jamaica Reggae Boys. So I did some research myself just to make sure I can tell you guys, the viewers, and make sure you spread this, share it to everyone, like and subscribe, because a lot of people are going to want to know what Paul Hall brings to the Reggae Boys. Now, Paul Hall was the under-23 head coach for QPR, which means as the head coach for the youth development team, you're going to be wanting to play the same type of football that the senior team is playing. That way there is an easier, seamless transition from your under-23 teams when it's time for them to get promoted to the senior team. So if the senior team is playing a formation or a system, that's exactly what you're going to be learned upon, and that's exactly what you're going to be training your team upon. So we know when Paul Hall gets in to the Jamaica national team, he'll be bringing that type of expertise. So I went back and tried to look at the type of football that he was playing all of last season. I QPR was playing all of last season. And they started off playing that 4-2-3-1 formation. They were playing 4-2-3-1 for the entire first half of the season. And I started to think, if you're playing a 4-2-3-1, that means you have the type of technical ability to make sure you have a discipline of the pivot, which is a defensive midfielder, which is something similar to what Jamaica is playing right now. You know, a two holding midfielder with a number 10 of sorts right in the middle and two wingers and a striker. That is very similar to how Jamaica wants to play right now. However, the second half of the season with QPR, they switched up formations altogether. Everything went upside down. And that's when they started presenting the better performances. They got this man called Charlie Aston. I don't know if you guys remember Charlie Aston from back in the day. Charlie Aston came in as the striker. He used to play in the Premier League. I think he's up in age now, but he kind of revolutionized this team so much so that they had to start playing with two up front. So what QPR did was they switched up the formation and went with 3-5-2, and it really worked wonders for them. And I can see Paul Hall bringing that type of tactical expertise to the Reggae Boys. I mean, if we are blessed right now with a plethora of defenders, right? I think the most sensible formation for us to use is that 3-5-2, right? Because we'll now have, you know, Jamal Lowe mixed up in there with all of the other defenders, both coming from England and what we have in the USL, and just have them in that team ready to play that flat three around the back. And of course, you can have Taxi on one side. Mariappa can even play up on the wing. He probably won't be playing every game as a wing back, but Taxi would be awesome as a wing back, right? So if you think about what we have on the wings, so as wing back, we can utilize the 3-5-2 to the best of our ability. Because then in the midfield, we'll have a lot more coverage in the midfield, because now we won't have two guys in there. We'll have three guys in the midfield, right? It could be one sitting and it could be two as a number 8, or it could be two sitting and one working as a number 10, getting involved in the play, breaking the play, getting it forward. And then we have two up front. Now, the two up front could be Mikel Antonio and Leon Bailey. We have a variety of options up front. We have a plethora of options up front. So, and I can definitely see Paul Hall bringing in a vicious tactical approach to the team. And towards the end of the season, they kind of switched up a little bit and started playing Charlie Aston up front by himself. And they kind of made it in a way where they were playing 3 in the back, 4 in the middle, 2 right behind him, and 1 up front. And it worked well because they still had the wing backs. They still had that 2 center in the 2 center midfield, but they had like 2 number 10s operating right in there, which I think Bailey and let's say for argument's sake, Morrison could work very well behind the striker and have a strong Mikel Antonio up there. So I do think this is possible for us to do. It's just a matter of Paul Hall coming in and implementing that as soon as possible for the World Cup. So people, thank you guys so much for watching. This is a short video on how Paul Hall is going to affect the Reggae Boys. We need to start bigging up Buddy Shaw. Not a lot of people are talking about it. She signed for Manchester City, fam. I wanted her to sign badly for Manchester United, but she signed for Manchester City. Set aside the fact that she signed for City, dead Manchester City, but it is Manchester City regardless. Our little girl from Jamaica, Buddy Shaw, playing for one of the biggest clubs in England. We need to put it out there. JFF, what are you doing? Anyway, bless up on yourself. This has been another episode of The Fourth Official. Make sure you like and subscribe. My name is Rome. That man is official is he. Manaz.